葬式ってのは死者のためにやるんじゃねえ。生きてる人間が死んだ人間への未練を断ち切るために行うもんだ。それができなかった。だからただれたんだ。
ベアトリーチェ。
おじいさま。
あんたは愛人の娘を、いやベアトリーチェを2度失った。その悲しみを表に出すことができず、胸の奥に押し込み
and locked up inside his study.
それがやがてただれて狂気に変わった。それが晩年まで異常なまでのオカルト趣味に駆り立てる。
ベアトリーチェ、ベアトリーチェ。なぜに二度までも私の前から去るのか。お前の微笑みを、その美しい髪を、瞳を、なぜに二度も死すのか。それほどまでに私を。
By now, Kinzo wasn't even trying to suppress his sobs. He sometimes scratched at his head in anguish, sometimes faced the heavens like an opera singer. Kinzo yelled over and over again, repeating Beatrice's name. At that moment, there was a quiet sound of a door closing. When they turned around, she was already there. Kumasawa had appeared.
そこまでをご存知でしたら、もうすべてをお話ししてもよろしいのではありませんか。
そこまでを知るなら、これ以上何も語ることなどないとも思うが。
Genji, you'd like not telling anyone anything.
いいえ、語るべきでございます。私は女として、クワドリアンのベアトリーチェ様のお心を誰かに伝えねばと思ってまいりました。
Maybe? I'm not sure.
そして、その資格を持つ人間が現れました。今こそ、すべてを包み隠さずお話しすべき時かと存じます。
熊沢さんは知っているのですか、ベアトリーチェのことを。
知ってるだろう。第4のゲームの時、連絡船の船長は熊沢がクワドリアンに出入りしていたことを証言している。おそらく熊沢は屋敷とクワドリアンの双方で若い娘の世話だ。育児経験の豊富な熊沢はさぞ重宝されただろう。
さようでございます。乳母であったとおっしゃっていただいてもよろしいかと思います。
そんな、信じられない。本当にウィルさんの話は本当なんですか。
はい、事実でございます。ベアトリーチェ様のために島の反対側に建てられた秘密の屋敷クワドリアンの存在は真実でございます。
金蔵が正妻といつ結婚したかは知らねえが、当時すでに莫大な財産を持ち、六軒島を丸ごと買い取った金蔵は交わらぬ2つの屋敷を建てて、そこに2つの生活を両立させたんだ。
Kinzo's children had also been aware of Kinzo's clandestine eccentricities at the time. It probably hadn't been easy to set up two lives. Moreover, Kinzo's wife had been suspicious and had sniffed around all the time. She should mind her own business.
時にはご出張と偽られ、何日も滞在され、ベアトリーチェ様との生活を大切になさいました。それは親子としての関係だけでなく、
Oh, obviously.
亡きベアトリーチェ様への深い愛を垣間見れる心温まるものでございましたとも。
Yeah, but at the same time kind of gross.
それは亡きベアトリーチェの代用品として扱ったこともあったと言っているようにも聞こえるな。
おや、 そう聞こえたなら申し訳ございません。ベアトリーチェ様は父からの愛は一心に受けられていたでしょう。しかし時にご自身に理解できぬ愛を強いられていたことは否定できません。
Kumasawa's tone made it sound as though she was scolding Kinzo. As a mother who had raised many kids, Kumasawa had probably spotted that Kinzo's love was often a mistake of sort of. However, the more she grew to look like her mother, the more distorted and twisted Kinzo's heart became. Oh, really? Because of his deep love, it grew very, very twisted. Very.
なじれ我が友よ、分かっておる。我が愛は永遠に不滅。なれどそれが間違った相手に注がれたことがあったの。私は認めねばならぬ。
おじい様、そんな、まさか。
Yes.
世の中のすべての人間には必ず何かの縁がございます。身に覚えがなくとも必ず何かの縁がございます。その縁が人に絡みつき引き寄せるのでございます。
Yeah, but usually you're supposed to understand which ties are which and which ones shouldn't become ties in the first place.
そんな、おじい様。
Yes. Just as Kinzo had done, Leon also wiped away tears that stared down at the floor. Apparently the truth had been too much of a shock for the young successor to handle.
親方様、もう語る時ではございませんか。
そうか、その時が来たか、我が友よ。
あんたが語らなきゃ何も真実は明らかにならない。
親方様、もはや知る権利と資格があるかと思います。分かっている。今日という私の気まぐれな葬儀に天のベアトリーチェが贖罪の機会を与えたのだろう。今日まで話さなかったことを許せ。
After taking a deep breath, Kinzo finally lowered the hands that had been covering his face and looked at Will and Leona with those red eyes.
おじい様。
リオンも聞け。客人にウィラードと言ったか。
ああ、
この私が自らの口より真実を話せるうちにこの機会を設けてくれたことを感謝する。
You're the one who didn't want to.
お前はきっとベアトリーチェより使わされた天の使いに違いない。
Yep, definitely. Sure.
感謝する。
その機会を設けたのはベアトリーチェじゃねえ。どこぞの魔女だ。いや、どっちも魔女には違いね。
Don't worry, it's a witch that you probably wouldn't like, Kinzo. Actually, no, knowing Kinzo, he'd probably like her.
お前が誰でもよい。私に機会を与えた。それで十分だ。感謝するぞ、ウィラードとやら。
Kinzo slowly stood up and held out his right hand. He was offering to shake hands. It must have been Kinzo's way of expressing his gratitude. Will responded. Then the two hands gripped each other tightly in silence. When they did, a bright light poured out from the gap between the two hands. Will felt as though something the size of a grain had burned itself into his palm. It was that power that burn had given him. The light grew brighter and brighter. However, it seemed that Kinzo and the others could not see it.
今こそ語ろう。私がベアトリーチェに、ベアトリーチェ・カスティリオーニに出会ったのは終戦間際。
Oh, goddamn Italian names. Ugh! Ah, good lord. I'm gonna butcher the pronunciation and apologies beforehand. I'm gonna assume from Italy, from the seas she came from. Which, I mean, it would only make sense if they meant like after the war or during the war or whatever. I'm not sure exactly the time frame it happened when he met it. I think it was during the war or right after. It's one. I know it's not before the war. I don't know if it's before or after or during. I'm not sure. They'll say, but it makes sense because Italy and Japan were working together, so obviously. I mean, Beatrice is also an Italian name. Hey, buddy.
お前はKinzoなのか?
Holy shit.
昔のおじいさまです。
Dude, when did you go gray? Like at 18?
写真で見たことがあります。これは一体。
ベルンカステルのくれた感激者の力だ。無理に理解するな。
頭痛になら。
分かってきたな。
Just don't ask questions. At one time, Genji told Battler that he looked like Kinzo in his youth. He had no fucking shit. Sure enough, though, the young Kinzo wasn't exactly the same as Battler. They looked very similar. Well, obviously, he has white hair. And he also sounds different. Even the voice seemed to resemble Battler somehow. Very similar. Clearly, Battler had inherited Kinzo's blood more thickly than any other. I'm sorry.
私が当主に選ばれたのは運命のいたずらに過ぎぬのだ。
関東大震災で主だった者が死に絶え、分家筋のお前が抜擢された。
そうです。おじい様は若くとも聡明な方で、当主にふさわしい貫禄を若くしてお持ちの方でしたから。
とんでもない。欲深な長老たちは互いの利益ばかりを主張し合い、新しい当主を選び出すことさえできなかったのだ。まるで沈みゆく船で新しき船長は誰かと議論するような愚かさよ。
だからこそ本家の誰ともしがらみのないお前が突然に抜擢を受けた。
すべてはこの足の指のせいだ。
My goddamn toes.
足の指が一本ずつ足りなかったなら、我が人生は全く異なるものになっていたである。
It's amazing how that can change your whole life. In the Ushirimiya family, polydactyly was seen as a sign of good fortune. This was because many of the great ones in the family history had it.
くだらぬ話よ。長老どもは自分たちの誰も得をしない馬の骨であれば誰でもよかったのだ。
たまたま分家筋に両足の指が6本ある者がいると耳に入り、それでいいと決まったわけか。
Yeah, that'll do. Is he smart? Maybe. He has 6 toes, though. Well, gotta hire him.
そういうことだ。長老どもは自分たちの操り人形になるなら、次期当主など。
We have this 8-year-old boy. He has 6 toes. Put him in!
どこの青二歳でもよかったのだ。むしろ帝王学に無知な人間ほど好ましい。
Fresh out the womb. Does he have 6 toes? Hell yes.
おじい様。
リオン、お前は違う。お前は我が全てを受け継ぐものだ。お前が生を受けた日よりそれは運命づけられていた。だからこそお前に銀の指輪を与え厳しく育ててきた。そなたは 私とは違う。誰にも恥じることのない立派な当主跡継ぎであるぞ。
はい。
操り人形の当主か。気楽なものじゃねえだろうな。
I mean, clearly he didn't go along with it. As he pondered about where to begin, Kinzo laughed bitterly. It would probably bring back painful memories, no matter where he started from.
あれはあまりに長い。それは私には岩に蒸す苔のような気の遠くなるほど長い死んだ時間。
I became the rope in the tug of war between the elders who thought of nothing but their own profit, and I probably could have snapped at any moment. However, people are far more resilient than one would think. Though I spent so many days as though I had been killed, I was not killed. So I was forced to start to search for my own death, for death on my own. I should clarify. Before I realized I reached an age at which the young would laugh at me if I tried to call myself young, but the old don't accept you either, right? Is that where it's going? That dizzyingly long stretch of gray was left completely empty. It lasted for a full 20 years. In 20 years, a person can be born, find a purpose, and even become their own man with their own place in the world. In short, if one truly becomes a human, only when they have become a working adult, then I spent a long time enough to create a human. By doing nothing except playing the part of those greedy elders' puppet. Ironically, though, that time aged my body. It did not age my mind. My mind alone was still as young as it had been during those rich, happy days before I had been summoned to Odawara. And yet my body alone had grown older and older. Eventually, the vast gap between the two grew to almost incomprehensible levels, so I could hardly believe that the worn-out man in the mirror was really me. No, it really wasn't me. The head of the Ushirimiya family was just a name. It had no power. It didn't require that I have any independence. There was no need for me to get involved with anything. I was just a doll sitting there on the doll rack, gathering dust. I remember nothing but lazily flipping through Western books I liked, locking myself in my own world, doing nothing but playing with roses and drinking terrible drinks. And it lasted a full 20 years. Before I knew it, I suddenly had a wife I did not know. It wasn't any wife I had chosen. It was the daughter of some noble family that the elders had chosen forced on me for their own reasons. But that did not matter to me. I did not love my wife, but neither did I dislike her. I just didn't care. I fathered a few children, but that wasn't out of love for my wife. They were just born before I knew it. That's all there was to it. None of it mattered. No, that's not quite right. Everything was decided by someone other than me. I simply obeyed. That was the job of the Ushirimiya family head.
このまま自分は静かに殺されるなど。
信じられません。強胆なる名君と称えられたおじい様がそのような日々を送っていたなんて。
リオンよ、自ら生きぬ人生ほど希薄で長いものはない。なのにそれはあっという間に過ぎ去るのだ。心せよ。
自ら生きる人生。
生きるってことは意志を持つということだ。殺された日々だったろうよ。
そうだ。私は生きたかった。いや、死にたかった。操り人形はどうすれば死ねる。
You wanted something.
糸を断ち切ることです。
そうだ。それが死ぬことであり、生きることであり、解放だ。
before I realized that the world had grown troubled. World War II, the Pacific War. Japan had extended their war fronts too far to the east and west, and the tide of war was changing. Oh, yes. I'm familiar with this topic. Please keep going with this. I can actually talk and know about what the hell I'm talking about and not be stupid. Thanks to the influence of the elders, I was able to avoid conscription. Of course, this was not out of compassion for me. It was because I was their precious puppet. So the war never really felt that close to me. When I personally decided to abandon their protection, it was very easy. At that time, the Ushirimiya family had almost completely collapsed. And since the elders had apparently gathered enough of the scraps to last them the rest of their lives, they seemed to care little for what I did, now that they had no longer had any use for me. So I realized that I had finally found my time to die. One by one, I cut the threads I was hanging from, and began to search for a place to end my life. Italy seemed like a nice place.
戦地で死を求めようとしたのか。
同じ死ぬなら誰かの役に立つべきと思った。いや、違うな。私には自らの命を絶つ気力さえなかったのだ。もっともらしく死ねる理由が戦争だ。
おじい様は土木建築の知識がありましたので、海軍設営隊にて施設造成などに従事されたと聞いています。
とんだ誤算よ。何の取り柄もないと言っておけば、すぐにも死ねる最前線へ送られたものを。
Yeah, that's true.
最前線に行かずに済んだのか。
幸いと喜ぶ仲間もいたよ。私には逆だった。戦って死ぬという出来すぎた美酒の焼け酒が欲しかっただけなのだ。忘れられた島の上空を米軍の編隊は横切っていくだけ。彼らは私のために爆弾一つどころか鉛玉の一つさえ恵んではくれなかったのだよ。
Sorry, if you lit a flare and shot it up into the sky, they might have bombed it.
おじい様はその日々の中でベアトリーチェにお会いになられたのですか？
Why the fuck is an Italian girl on this island?
そうだ。あれは海からやってきた。
どこであった？
Oh, depending on the time, Italy might have been under siege. Actually, it depends.
島と言ったが。
ここだよ。
Taiwan?
この島にやってきたのだ。
Taiwan?
お前たちは六軒島で出会っていたというのか。
どういうことですか？おじい様が六軒島を買い取るまでは無人島だったと聞いています。
It wasn't uninhabited, it was just a military base.
この島に日本軍の基地があったなどとは初耳です。
Ah, that explains the fucking tunnels in the ground. The tunnels are military installations and military bunkers. Duh. Should have thought that. He just refurnished probably a bunker, which is where the gold is. It's just in a random bunker, but he just refurnished it to make it look nice.
そうだな。あんなものは基地とは呼ばぬ。ただの岩窟よ。私はその岩窟の番人だったのだ。
1944. Due to the honorable defeats at Saipan and Guam, Japan's absolute national defense zone strategy was in shambles. It was getting fucked up. Where had the gallantry shown at Pearl Harbor gone? After Midway, they started just getting butt-fucked. That's what happened. The old attackers were now the ones on the defense. Well, defensive. By 1944, most of the ones that are in that part of the war died. Because they used all of their good guys and were fighting the Americans, and they just kept getting better because they could produce faster, more men, and build stuff way faster. They had more supplies, more money, more resources. It just, a long war for them is what killed them. Because they just couldn't replace their men fast enough like the Americans could. At that time, it was said that the last trump card for the Japanese military was a type of manned torpedo known as the Kaiten. It was said that these ultimate weapons were packed with 1.55 tons of explosives and capable of sinking any kind of warship with a single blast. To strengthen homeland defense, the Navy drafted a plan to build a string of hidden bases from Hachijo Island to Yokotsuga. All the house submarines loaded the Kaiten torpedoes.
八丈島に基地が作られたことは知っていました。しかしそれが六軒島にもあったなんて。
どこの間抜けがこんな何もない島に作ろうと言い出したやら。
So like the whole Rokenjima explosion, the 1.55 tons of explosions is what probably sets off the island.
一区上の都合。バカバカしい。
I should just say 1.5 tons. I don't know why I'm getting specific. 1.5 tons.
お上の考えることなどわからぬし、私にとってもどうでもいいことだった。
The Kaiten, which would finish off a large warship in a single strike, truly was an ultimate weapon. It was hoped that the presence of submarines capable of loading these weapons in the water just off of Japan would allow for a powerful sea ambush as a final line of defense. So to aid in the establishment of bases with absolute secrecy, the uninhabited island of Rokenjima was raised as a possible candidate. An investigation of the island resulted in the discovery of a large cave in the cliffs. And this was apparently deemed to be a suitable location for the submarine base.
お前はその基地の建設に関わったわけか。
建設？岩窟を掘り広げただけを建設と呼ぶならな。しかもその上、基地は未完成のまま放置されたのだから。
どうしてです？
当時の日本にそいつを詰めるほどの大型潜水艦はもう残っていなかったのよ。
Yeah, they had to use everything.
滑稽な話だ。潜水艦もないのに潜水艦基地など今さら必要なものか。
Hope.
役人の無意味な箱物作りは今も昔も変わらぬわ。
The base on Hachijo Island was outfitted with Kaiten torpedoes and became a base for direct attacks. But Rokenjima was never supplied with any. Furthermore, the construction was eventually suspended, and the minimum number of men were stationed on the island waiting for orders from above that never came. Could it be the fact that it was a hidden base sealed our fate? The higher-ups had already completely forgotten about this useless and pointless cavern. Thanks, guys. This is so secret, we completely forgot about it. We were nothing more than guards with a mere cave. We spent our days farming, fishing, and playing with the dirt. What else are you gonna do? All the while gazing up at the American formations flying past. Some of our group were relieved at the prospects of the war ending before anyone remembered we were here. And before any of us had to face a real battle. Of course, it was the opposite for me. I hoped and hoped for the American troops to advance and kill me as soon as possible. They probably would have just taken you as a prisoner of war, unless you started shooting. Those days were empty and blank. Let us go back. Back to the turning point in my life and my fate. The time that Ushirimiya Kinzo finally became alive. And this nice Italian girl showed up. Hello? Stars seemed to spin around inside my head. I could just lie down on the floor, but that'd only make him more angry. I have no intention of being obedient. Still, it'd be stupid to get myself punched for no reason. So I get up and stand at attention. The fighting's close, is it? You really think the American troops are likely to show up on this forgotten island? Then let them come right now. That's what I've been waiting for all this time. If anything, they'll just shell the island. Quite the opposite.
そんなに米兵が恐ろしいか。そんな気合では打ち取れんぞ。
Could you please quit your whining already? Filthy cowards. They let themselves be controlled by this inexplicable anger because it was the only way to distract themselves from their own fear. Heart and spirit aren't any use when the battle becomes hopeless. When trapped by an insurmountable hopelessness, humans will rely on several other emotions to escape their fear. For these young and inexperienced soldiers, anger was a very convenient emotion to fall back upon. Anger is the wine they use to paralyze their fear. It made them chant, "Damn the British, damn the Americans," as they swung their bamboo spears around and called it drilling. The more one drinks wine, the more they need to drink more to get drunk. Their useless anger continued to pile up day after day without pause. I did not fear death, so I had no need of the wine called anger. This made their cowardice all the more apparent to me.
その目つきだ。後ろ宮、貴様の魂は腐りきっておるわ。魚だ。貴様の目は死んだ魚の目だ。
However, it went both ways. Just as I was able to spot their cowardice, they were able to pick up on my lethargy.